What's going on, everybody? Today I'm attempting to make another unpopular font look attractive. Today I'm going to be using BrushScript. Let's get started. So the first thing that I want to do here is I want to find a good color palette first, because I do believe that if you find a good color palette, then for the most part you can make a font work. And I think that I'm going to try something with this color palette right here. At this point, I really don't know exactly what I'm going to be, what the type is actually going to say. But I think that with use of colors and use of placement, I think you can make just about any font look good. I mean, we kind of saw that with Comic Sans, that's obviously open to opinion. It's open to interpretation. But I think that what we did with the Comic Sans font, I don't know, I kind of think that it worked a little bit. So I'd like to do something with this, maybe some kind of like a beachy type of theme or something like that. I honestly can't remember the last time that I used BrushScript. I don't even know if I've ever used it in any of my projects. I can't think of one time. I think maybe to maybe to kind of give it like a retro type of vibe. I really don't know, but I'm just gonna try it here. Let me go through kind of these uppercase letters here and just kind of see if there's anything that strikes me. Like, I don't really think that this is necessarily a bad font. I just think that it gets overused. So I like that H right there. That's not too bad at all. Let's see, hot. What can you do with the word hot? We are doing something that's kind of beachy, or whatever. Let's see. Could you do something like that? Like almost like it's being used ironically. I don't really want to do that again because I already did it with Comic Sans, but it's at least worth a shot here. Let's see. You could do something like this where maybe there's a slight overlap and those colors can just gradually go into this yellow right here. I don't hate this at all. I think that, let's see, you could do is, you could make up something like, the hottest day. We'll just call it the hottest day. Maybe it's like some kind of a beach event or something. You want there to be plenty of contrast for the heading, and for any brush script font, really, you want to keep it to auto. Wait, you want to keep the whole thing to auto because it's set that way for a reason. Like you don't really want to adjust the kerning too much unless like a case like this between the T and the H where there's nothing connecting the two letters together. So you just kind of adjust this right here, leave the rest alone. The space between that D and that A is a mile wide, so let's bring it in. Let's see, the hottest day of the year. So you could do hottest day up here, and let's kind of bring this in maybe 1.5 right here. We can go ahead and convert it to outline since we've already got our kerning all set. And okay, so there we go. We've got a perfect 1.5 inch margin at the top, and maybe something like this. Let's adjust this. Let's see if there's anything that we can adjust. Okay, there's nothing we can adjust in here. We've got to leave that auto right there. And now that I'm actually working with this font, I can see why people dread working with it, because like overall it's not necessarily an ugly font, but you've got some of these ends right here, like this part right here. This is not attractive, okay? Like this is this is supposed to be called BrushScript. You're supposed to, like it's supposed to look like it's scripted with a brush, obviously. But no brush would would create these these curves right here, and then right here smack up against this hard edge that has no curvature to it. So I kind of see what people are talking about here, and and that's just one example, but I see it in other places as well. Like this hard edge right here. Like maybe if you were to do something like that, it might make it a little bit better, and maybe we can make those adjustments. You don't really want there to be any straight lines here necessarily, although that curvature is a little bit, it's just a little bit too perfect. So what if you just kind of brought it in just a smidge? This one definitely needs to come up more, so something like that. I think that it still doesn't look great, but it definitely improves it a little bit. And then you could do the same thing here. I didn't really plan on doing this, making any adjustments to it. I kind of feel like I'm cheating. Just trying to make these a little bit more attractive here. I think that I'm getting off course, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this, and I'm not going to make sure that it's perfect or anything. I'm just going to go through and just kind of clean up some of those hard edges. Let's see, that wouldn't, I'm also trying not to be too methodical with it, not putting too much thought into it. Really, we're supposed to be making the font work, so let's not make too many adjustments to the actual font. Okay, so the hottest day of the year. And let's see, where do I like the placement of this? I think this is pretty nice. Let's see. And then we can do something like, 22, since it'll take place in 2022. And I'm a huge music fan, so why don't we just make it like a concert poster or something? Those twos are just ugly. And in my opinion, they don't really communicate the message that well. But we got to do what we got to do, right? All right, let's go ahead and convert that to outline. And I'm actually just going to make it one solid shape, each one of these, so that if we want to apply any kind of effects to it, then we can do that with ease. All right, so what do we have here? Hottest day of the year. Let's kind of bring this up a little bit closer. I'd like to take up as much of that space as possible. I think that that's good right here. And another use that I've seen for this font, it's very common in yearbooks. I don't know, well, maybe older yearbooks. It was very common in yearbooks that I had when I was a kid, because this font's been around forever. What if we put this behind here? Okay, not too bad at all. Give it some kind of depth. But you see it in yearbooks, and you see it a lot of sports type of stuff and everything. I know that I've seen it on like Letterman jackets and things like that. I wonder if, just to give this a little bit more of a dynamic feel, we could maybe give it some kind of a like a perspective shadow. And what if we did like a darker version of this purple right here, not entirely black. Actually, I think that is a little bit too dark. Let's still try to, okay, there we go. I think that's better. And then we will align these, deselect that yellow, and then we'll blend these together. So that way we've got a nice shadow there that's, kind of a going consistent instead of actually seeing the spacing there. I I think that actually looks pretty good. And just doing something like that when you're working with a font like this, you can easily, you know, as clients say, jazz it up a little bit, just by doing something simple like that. You know, adding a shadow. I think I might do the same thing here. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Series of keyboard shortcuts working against me. And let's bring back all of our tabs. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Let's be a lot more careful here. Okay. All right. And we'll do that same color right there. They'll all have the same color. Okay, align this to the red. Deselect the red. Select the bottom under there. Blend. Okay, I think that automatically is really making it look a lot better. And this is not necessarily to say that you need effects to make text look good. I'm just saying that it's just an option. So let's bring this up, deselect the orange, select this guy, blend it. I may not have even needed to do that with this. It's probably that gap between them was probably enough. Okay, hottest day of the year, 22. Okay, and what if we did something like, make this all one shape, go to path and offset path. Whoa. That might be a little bit too much, maybe a ½ inch. Combine the shapes together, stroke, get rid of everything inside here. That way we kind of frame it a little bit. I think that it may help to kind of take attention away, take attention away from the actual font. So that way we have an exact outline of the text that we have. Let's do this real quick. Let's group everything. And then we'll align it to this object, and now we can ungroup. And our stroke around here, we can make that, I like this color right here, so it's kind of, you know, it's a little bit more on the subtle side. All right, select all of this, hit your A key, and then enter a super high number for your corners. That kind of rounds everything. And you don't want to go too heavy with the stroke, maybe 2 or at the most 3. I think I'll do 2. And we'll round all of these, all of the joins here. And maybe go into something like this where it's a little bit on the straight side and just kind of bring up those curves a little bit. We can do the same thing here since those are so close to each other. Again, this is really just all experimenting and just coming up with, you know, stuff that you think might work and, you know, might add a little bit to what we're doing. And I wonder if, just out of curiosity, I was wondering what this would look like with maybe not a white background. Wait, so here we go, switch, there we go. But maybe like a, you know, really really bright yellow or something like that. And then bring this up. Okay, I don't think that works at all. Okay, so we'll just keep it to no fill. Okay, so something like that maybe. I don't hate this composition of the type, but we'll just kind of see what else we can do here. We need to fill in the rest of everything. So let me sample this real quick. And since we need some hierarchy, we will definitely make adjustments to the size there. I think that maybe this can go down in the corner. And let's maybe rotate it. I think that's good right there. Let's reset our margin. Good. So that way we're exactly where we need to be. And I wonder, so am I happy with the order in which these are going? I think I am. I think that I might actually, you know what? Let me undo that rotation, ungroup all of these, and maybe do something like this. I think I might give the front one the same drop shadow or perspective shadow there. Send it to the back. Let's go up there and sample this color. And we'll just do the same thing here. Really, I just want it to kind of be a little bit more attention grabbing. Let's blend that, blend this, or blend that. Okay. And maybe I'll just kind of offset this a little bit. Wait, wrong one. There we go. Maybe by 1/8 of an inch, and then this one by 1/4 of an inch. It's pretty cool. It kind of gives it like a, you know, a little bit of like a perspective trail type of thing. All right, now let's reset our margins, bring back our tabs. Okay, and I think that overall it's a little bit on the big side, so let's maybe bring it down to 2.5 inches, and then we will do our rotation again. Maybe like 10 degrees or something like that. Okay, the hottest day of the year. Let's see, how about today's hottest artists. And maybe we'll do something like this, where we do today's hottest artists. Will it be better over there? I think it'll be better over here, actually. So let's align it to the right. Oops. There we go. Today's hottest artist. And then I'm kind of thinking, you know what, before I do this, let me adjust the kerning. Something that you constantly have to do with these types of fonts. And I think I might actually want to join that together. Let's zoom in to make sure that it's where it needs to be. Okay, there we go. Because the spacing between it is just way too big. And this is another reason, okay, I officially hate this font because of this. Look at this. What am I supposed to do with that? Okay. And actually, even though that's auto, we're set to auto right now. And that doesn't line up perfectly the way it's supposed to. All right, so let's duplicate this. And yeah, so we'll do like today's hottest artists all on one stage, and I'll well, actually I do want to rotate it 90 degrees like this and have it be on that side, but before I do that, I'm gonna adjust the kerning here. I don't hate the spacing between this A and the L right there, but I just want to open it up just a touch, and let's definitely bring this in. And here's another example of Okay, that's not too bad. It's a little bit close, but it's not the worst. Okay. And let's align left on that one. Okay. Now I am gonna try see what I can do here. It's probably not going to be the best looking thing in the world. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But let's just see what we can do. Okay, we'll join those and maybe we can create a nice looking curve here. There are all kinds of ways you can do this, but every single one of them are going to require time. And I don't want to bore you with spending too much time on this. But I think okay, that's probably the best that I'm going to be able to achieve here with this. Okay, today's hottest artists all on one stage. And I think what we'll do here, since I'm happy with all of this, I'll go ahead and create outlines. Let me get the sample and put it over there. Okay, so -1.5, -1.5. And what I'll do is I'll bring this down here and we'll align this. Today's hottest artists all on one stage. And I think that I'll sample this orange right here. And I'd like to put that there and maybe bring this up, or you know what we could do is maybe we can bring in some kind of graphical elements, you know, kind of representing the sun. I really do like this color palette a lot. Okay, so we'll bring that there and then back it off. That way we have the same spacing on both sides there. And I'm thinking that I might do some kind of a blending effect with this, maybe down to like 1 inch, change this to yellow, and then blend these together. But I don't want it to be that smooth gradient. I'd like it to be something like this. Okay, that's a little bit better. What would it look like if we did that? No, it would take away from the whole sun feel. Wonder if that would work. Oops. Oh, yeah, not across the artboard, across the selection. There we go. All on one stage. Let's see, maybe move this over here. I think I'd like to keep that right there. The introduction of the sun is kind of throwing me off a little bit. Could always move this. We could even put this in front of the sun. Although that yellow is kind of blending in a little bit. Okay, I'm not a fan of that. I think that I might just keep it where it was to begin with and put this back down here. Maybe kind of move this in. I wonder if we, you know what, I think I'm just going to put it back to where it was. This is yet again another tedious part of being a designer, is figuring out how you're going to make all of these elements work together and placing them. Okay, so we will just say that it's at riverfront. We'll make it that yellow right there. Here, let's do this. Riverfront, Nashville, because I'm from Nashville, and we need it to be on a hot day. So let's do my birthday, August 9th, 2022. I was not born in 2022. And let's sample these right here. You know what? I think what I'm gonna do is I think that I'll bring that sun down. And just lay it maybe right here. And let's go in, let's see if there's anything we can change here. I actually like the placement of that. Let's kind of bring this in just a touch. Definitely bring in the spacing on this. Okay. The placement of this would definitely be different if I were using a different font. I don't think that I would do something like this, but you know, what you're wanting to do when you're using this font is to use a real, you know, like almost kind of a retro type of layout. Because I think that that is the kind of thing that makes this font work, is a retro layout, something that we don't really see that often anymore. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself there with the red, orange, and the yellow, but I don't know. For some reason, I think that it works. Let's check out the spacing between this. You know what you could do? You could do different size suns, and you could even do one where it kind of bleeds off the edge right here as well. Ooh, okay, I like that. It's kind of like a, you know, it's kind of like a spotlight type of thing. I think that's cool. All right, so let's do this. Let's mask it. Okay, I like that. All right, let's bring it into Photoshop and do some effects to it. I'll make it full resolution there. We'll paste it all as a smart object. Oops. Did I do 18 by 27? I thought I did 18 by 24. Let's see. No, it's 18 by 24. Okay, all right, I know what happened. It's counting that those additional graphics at the bottom. Sometimes getting these to translate perfectly can be a challenge. There we go. All right, let's grab our purple. I think that I might actually see if I can do a nice gradient as that background, just real subtle. all the way up to 100. Okay. And I'm thinking maybe, just nice and subtle, not too far away from what we had before. Still think that I think that it still communicates pretty well. All right, and let's see if we can add some effects to this. First one that I want to try is this glued paper texture. I think that it may work for something like this. Maybe, yeah, one that's a little bit more on the subtle side. And we'll just cover the entire thing with it. And now we use our blending modes to apply these textures to the artwork. And you want to maintain the colors underneath there. That hard mix is interesting if we were going for like a a different kind of look there. Usually divide is going to be the best one depending on the colors, especially if you're wanting to preserve the colors. Divide usually works pretty well. Okay. Just out of curiosity, what happens if we invert it? It's too much. Okay. I think I might try a different one because I'm not too thrilled about that one. We could do one. This one is nice and dramatic. And I'd like to rotate it. Okay, and let's just jump straight to divide and see what that looks like. That's looking cool. It's definitely picking up some of those textures, although it's inverting a little bit too much, and I think that I want to stay away from that. Since we have some of these artifacts in here, let's go ahead and cover them up with some grain. Not a pattern, grain. 50% gray. And now we'll go into camera raw filter. Turn this all the way up. Back it down to about 25 there. And see what happens when we apply overlay to it. Okay, it's looking good. I think I might go a little bit less subtle though. Let's go down to maybe hard light. Vivid light looks nice. Okay. Still have a lot of contrast right there. I wonder if we could... That's interesting. Sometimes you get really cool effects with difference and exclusion. I think I might actually keep it at overlay. Or actually, no, I like soft light. That's pretty cool. Although it is that this part right here, this pink text, is kind of blending a little bit. So let's see what we can do here. Let's apply this just to the texture. Just see if we can kind of bump up some of that contrast just a little bit more. Okay, I think that's good. And I would like to maybe... No, I think I'm happy. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so, all right, take a look at it. And let's maybe bring this down just a touch. Actually, I think I'm going to bring it down a lot. I think 35% is good. Okay, what do you think? Did I succeed in making BrushScript look even the least bit attractive? Let me know in the comments. I think that overall this looks pretty cool. I definitely would have spent more time on it if this was an actual client project, although if it were a client project, I wouldn't be using BrushScript, at least most likely, unless someone came to me and said, hey, can you make BrushScript look good? And I'll be like, well, I can certainly give it a try. But I think that overall, the color palette kind of helps lend to it, and it's definitely not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I think that something like this could lend itself easily to experimentation. So, you know, if you're a designer out there, definitely give it a shot. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. You know, see what you can do with BrushScript. Well, that was a lot of fun trying to make BrushScript look good on a poster. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe at the bottom. It'll keep more videos like this coming to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.